What's up YouTube? I know it's been a while, but I'm back with another video, and today I wanted to go over how I made the build that I plan on using when 2K21 drops. And my goal with this build was to make it the best all-around build as possible, because I only plan on making one build for current gen because I do plan on getting next gen. So I don't want to make a bunch of different builds and then do it again on next gen. So I was just going to make one really good build for current gen, and then next gen is when I would make a lot of builds and experiment and do all that stuff. But the build is basically like the offensive threat from 2K20. Really good overall build that can do pretty much everything, and I'm gonna show you how I made mine. So let's get into it. So on this screen, the only thing that's important is the position, and I chose point guard. And I picked point guard because it gives me all of the attributes that I was looking for. And last year, like, point guards were really good because they had some of the best attributes, but also they got a lot of badges. But this year they kind of like tried to adjust that a little bit, because I did experiment making this build as a shooting guard, and the attributes were like a little bit lower, but he ended up getting more badges. But like I said, I wanted the attributes to like be at a certain rating, so that's why I went with point guard. And yeah, everything else doesn't really matter. The name, I picked left-handed because I'm left-handed in real life, and the number, that's just a number I always pick. So the pie chart I chose was the third pie chart, which is shooting and slashing, which is similar to the second pie chart, which was in 2K20. But this one, you can call it new, even though it's not really kind of new, it's just adjusted a little bit. But it has a little more slashing, a little more playmaking, but a little bit less shooting, which is fine, because once I get to 99 and, you know, adjust the height and wingspan and stuff, all of the attributes are going to be where I wanted them to be. So this is the pie chart that I went with. For the physical profile, I just went with the first one that gives me the most speed and acceleration. So for the attribute points for finishing, I went with 84 close shot, 90 driving layup, 80 driving dunk, and I didn't touch the standing dunk or post hook, and that gave me 15 finishing badges. Now if you max out the close shot and the driving layup, you could get 16 finishing, but I lowered it a little bit, get 15. I feel like the game is gonna be similar, extremely similar to last year, and I felt like you didn't need a ton of finishing badges on a guard, so I feel like 15 is enough. And I still might adjust this, like when the game comes out, I might end up giving him like 12 and just have like contact finisher, slithery finisher, and like maybe fancy footwork or something, depending on like how they changed how the badges work, because all the badges are exactly the same, but they probably got adjusted and, you know, nerfed or buffed in certain ways, so we just have to see. But yeah, I feel like 15 badges is enough. As for the shooting badges, I maxed out the mid-range, 3-point, and post fade, and I put the free throw at 60 just because I play a lot of parks, so you're not taking free throws. Plus, even when I do play like my career or even rec, I'm not taking a lot of free throws to the point where I could justify having like a 85 free throw when I can just save those attribute points and put them somewhere else. Plus 17 shooting badges is more than enough, assuming that the game is damn near the same as last year, which I'm guessing it is. So 17 badges is more than enough. Plus even though I picked the finishing and shooting pie chart, it only gets Hall of Fame finishing badges. So I'm gonna have 17 shooting badges, but they only go up to gold, which means that, you know, I could get more badges because I can't get Hall of Fame shooting badges, which is fine. These attributes mixed with the badge count is more than enough to hit consistently. For playmaking, I maxed out the pass accuracy, the ball handle, and I put post moves at 44, which gives me 15 playmaking badges, which is good. And it's enough to have the important badges plus a couple of badges that you don't necessarily need but would like to have in certain situations. And for the defense, I put my interior defense at 43, and then I maxed out perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal, and defensive rebound, which gives me 6 defensive badges, which is okay. Like, it's not amazing, so like you're not gonna be locking people down, but it's enough to get you clamps and, I don't know, maybe pick dodger if it works this year, or intimidator. So like you're not a defensive liability, like you're still able to stay in front of people and contest, but obviously you're not gonna be locking people down. And I still have one attribute point remaining. You could put that like anywhere, doesn't really matter. You could, you know, max out your driving layup, or, you know, put your close shot up or whatever. I'm gonna just put it on driving layup. But yeah, that's basically basically the badge count: 15 finishing, 17 shooting, 15 playmaking, and 6 defense, which is pretty good. That's pretty well rounded. Body shape, I don't think that matters. I usually go defined. As for the height, I went 6'3", which is a good height for a guard. You don't want to be any shorter than that, even though like I feel like the magic height for a point guard is like 6'5". Like that's like the perfect height, because at 6'5", you know, since you're bigger, you're a little better on defense. A lot of times you still have like pretty good ball handle and shooting, and you're still pretty fast. So like 6'5" is like that magic height. But with this build, I couldn't make him 6'5" and have like all the attributes where I wanted them, so I had to go with 6'3", which isn't bad at all. The weight, I went like 173, just because if you go minimum at 170, you get like 43 strength, but if you go 173, you get 44 strength without affecting your speed or acceleration. So like, why not get that +1, even though it's not gonna matter at all, but like it's just like, why not? You're getting like an attribute for free, basically. The wingspan, I bumped it up to 82.2, and this year they made a change where if you up your wingspan, you also get finishing, whereas last year if you moved up your wingspan, you would lose shooting and playmaking, but you would get defense. But this year you also get defense and finishing. So I moved my wingspan up to 82.2, and I put my driving dunk at 82. My shooting did go down a little bit, but 79 mid, 77 3-point is more than enough to hit consistently, and my ball handling went down by 1 to 82, which is fine though. And yeah, that's basically the build, and this is where I wanted all the attributes to be, because assuming that is the same last year, where once you hit 95, then every time you go up 1 overall, you get +1. So by the time I get to not even 99.9 or 99, when I get to 98 on this build, I would have 85 driving dunk, so I get contact dunks. I would get over 80 mid-range and 3-point shot, which is more than enough to hit consistently. I would have 85 ball handle, so in order to speed boost, I would have to be 99 to get 86 ball handle. But even if I'm 98 and I have 85 ball handle and I get a little bit of takeover, that's gonna push me up to 86, and I'd be able to speed boost and momentum and do all of that stuff. And the defense isn't bad. Perimeter defense and lateral quickness are high enough to stay in front of people. So like I said earlier, you're not gonna be a lockdown, but like you're not gonna be a liability neither. Like these stats are good enough to stay in front of people, contest shots, and force misses. And as for the takeovers, it's pretty much personal preference. Choose what you like or you want to use. I'm hoping when the game releases that you can change your takeover, but I don't know. I hope so, because I thought that would be something you can do last year, and I don't know why it would be like a hassle or something hard to like implement, but I don't know. 2K is 2K. So slashing takeover, all of these are like pretty good. Like I said, it's personal preference. I'll probably go slashing because I really didn't use slashing takeover that much last year, and the benefits you get from slashing takeover were crazy, and I'm assuming it's gonna be the same. And what I mean by that is that if you didn't know, all takeovers increase all your attributes by +5. It's just that depending on the takeover, you get +10 to certain attributes. So like for slashing, you'd get a +5 to your 3-point shot, but you'd get +10 to like driving dunk and driving layup, and I think speed with ball handle, vertical, like a bunch of stuff. Plus, if you didn't have contact dunks, once you're in slashing takeover, you can do contact dunks. So like even if I'm not 98 on this build yet and I'm grinding there, if I get slashing takeover, I'll still be able to pull off a contact dunk. So yeah, slashing takeover was crazy last year, and I assume it's gonna be pretty much the same. But then again, like I said, all these takeovers are good choices. Shot created takeover is glitchy, like especially like if you're good with, you know, the like the spin shots and the faders. You could also get like ankle breaking animations. You won't put somebody on the ground, but like you'll make them stumble and like touch the floor doing like step backs and stuff. So like if you could get glitchy with the shot created takeover, like you're gonna be hitting spin shots and step backs, and you can still contact dunk people, assuming that you have contact dunk animations and like you're 98 overall. So like yeah, that's glitchy. Playmaker takeover I used a lot last year, but it's fun, but you know, once you get it, like people don't really play defense and they just like hold B, so like you don't really make people fall that often. And lockdown takeover, I mean, it's pretty much a guaranteed stop on defense, but yeah, like I said, I'd probably go slasher. And yeah, I'm not gonna lock it in because I made this build already, and you can't go back and like change or whatever. Plus, I don't know how many builds you're able to make in the demo, so I don't want to waste them on like 2 and 3 the same build. So, and as you can see, the name you'll get is actually just slasher, which is very deceiving, and I can already tell that they didn't like address the names of builds, because you see slasher, you would think that this build could just dunk and probably be able to dribble, but I have like an 83 point shot. That's it for like once I hit 99 and stuff. So I could shoot threes, I could contact dunk, I could speed boost, and the defense is not terrible, but I'm just a slasher. So there's that. That's pretty much the end of the video. Let me know what you think about the build. Are you gonna make it? Are you gonna make something else? Do you think this build is good? Do you think it's trash? Does it suit your playstyle? Let me know all of that in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope this video helped you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content.